Day 23 of something new. So it is something new. Something new is stepping outside my comfort zone every single day, growing with God on an elevated level, decreeing an abundant life over myself every day, multiple times a day. It's more than just a routine. Every day I'm seeking to get spiritually stronger in God, being consistent and seeking God's promises, believing God will do something new.
To Mommy Kenna.
So it is day 23 of something new, and it has been a very interesting day. Last night was very interesting for me. Last night I hit what I would call a breaking point, but I'm not sure that's what God calls it. So I just felt so overwhelmed yesterday. My mind just felt like it was so against me. I'm thinking it's spiritual warfare. I'm I'm just going in prayer. I am binding, I'm rebuking. I'm just going at it. And my mind just did not feel peaceful like it should. And I'm doing so well growing with God, and I'm doing what I know to do, and I'm trying to build myself up. I'm praying, I'm worshiping God, I'm reading the word, I'm doing what I know. And I just felt just so much going on in my mind, and it was so overwhelming, very overwhelming. And I've been feeling this quite some time. It was like a slow build, and I just could not understand it. And I'm continuing in my faith, continuing growing with God. But it got so bad. It got to the point where I just broke down. I had so much on my mind, so much that I wanted to talk about, so much that I felt like there was just going unanswered. And my mind was going crazy, and I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying not to say anything that's going to go against me, that's going to stop anything, any blessings, any breakthroughs. I'm trying my hardest to just keep my mouth shut and keep it moving, keep it going, keep it growing. And it got so bad. It was very bad. And finally I just stopped. I remember I just dropped to my knees and I say, I'm done, God. I'm done. Whatever this is, I surrender it to you. I can't hold it anymore. I can't carry this anymore. I just surrender it to you. I yield myself to you. You have your way, because I don't know what I'm doing. I feel weak, and I can't do this. My mind is just all over the place. Take it, Lord. And I just surrendered it. And it was like a breaking point. It was like, God, I'm done. I can't hold this. I can't carry this. I can't fight this. I can't keep going if my mind feels like this. But what I didn't recognize is I said that, and I'm at a breaking point. I'm crying. I'm calling out to God. But as I got back up, I felt stronger. As I got back up, I was strengthened. As I got back up, something in me, it was like a shift happened within me. And I call it a breaking point, but I think God called it an elevation point. I think God used that. God allowed that to happen in order for him to be able to feel me, because I'm growing and I'm trying to do what I've been doing, because consistency is key. But we have to recognize when God wants to shift you and disrupt your normal routine. If you are still in your flow, you will feel pulling, you will feel tugging, you will feel like just everything's against you. What you're doing is just not right. What you're putting your hands to is just not right. You're double-minded. You're not understanding why you feel like that when you've been growing so well with God, and everything just feels like it's against you. And you think it's spiritual warfare. You're trying to fight this fight. You're trying to it's just overwhelming. It's too overwhelming. And really, sometimes it's God pulling on us. It's God trying to get us to shift our minds in a different direction. It's God trying to give us something. And when God tries to give us something, sometimes we're so in our own flow of growing with God, or what we think is right. And it was right, yesterday. It was right last week. But when God shifts, God wants you to focus on something else. And if you don't recognize that shift, you will feel out of alignment. And so when God is ready to elevate you, when God is ready to raise you up, you will be broken down. because you got to get low in order for God to raise you high. And that's what happened. I got low. I had to give up some things that I was holding on to, some things that I was keeping in order to keep me afloat and to keep me growing with God. And really, we can't grow with God on our own. We need God's Spirit. And we can't be in front of God. We can't be behind God. We have to be with God. And so when we're trying to do something on our own every day, regardless if it's a routine, I said my prayers in the morning, I asked for strategy, direction, but it's just, there's a shift that sometimes that happens. Then God's got to shift your mind in a certain direction for you to start flowing in that direction with him. And God shifted me, and I had to get low. God had to allow me to be broken. And I felt like I had been there before. And I remember in the past when I would feel that way, I would be broken down. And I would always get revelation. I would always get just a knowing of what I need to do moving forward. I always thought those moments were bad moments. I looked at them as bad moments, when really God saw them as good moments, because we're not living in sin. We're not doing anything wrong, but we're just being shifted. God is shifting our minds. God is shifting our direction. God is elevating us. And in those moments, he gives us revelation, because we get rid of things in order for God to fill us up with new things. And he gives us revelation, strategy, direction. And these were all the things I've been praying for. And I got back up and God was giving them to me. And I just started writing notes and just filling my journal with everything God was saying. And he started teaching me about time and how important time was, and just started teaching me all these things. And it was easier for me to receive, because now I was low. I was low on energy. I was low. I had got rid of things that were within me. I had gave up. I didn't give up on God, but I gave up what I thought I was doing that day. And I just opened myself for God to fill me. And it was an amazing moment. And I actually praised God and I thanked him for that moment, for that breakdown, because I thought it was a breakdown, but it was really God building me up, God elevating me, God giving me something new. And so I'm grateful for it. It was more of me continually recognizing that this life cannot be done without God. And God filled me even more. And it was amazing afterwards. Just the way God was speaking to me and teaching me as if I was a student. It's amazing when you have those moments with God. And so I'm very grateful for everything God has been teaching me. I'm grateful for the direction he's placed me in. I'm grateful for what God is doing. I think sometimes we look at our bad times. We look at the times that we fall. We look at them as though we just destroyed destiny. We just messed it all up. But we have to understand is if we fall, if we break down, if we come to a breaking point, a stopping point, we don't know what to do, and we're crying out, seeking God for answers. God is so loving. He's so patient. God knew that was going to happen. God knew you was going to burn out. God knew that you needed to be refilled. And so he pulls on you. He tugs on your heart. He pulls on your mind. And God refills us. God gives us more direction. God gives us the steps moving forward. And so I was so grateful for that moment. And in the past, I would take it as, I would just take the L in the past. But I never really thought to actually recognize that I was learning, that I was growing, and that God was teaching me something new in those moments. And so I think it's definitely a win and an elevation. Like I say all the time, growing with God is not easy, and you have to be open and continuously seeking God, seeking his heart, seeking the direction you need to go. And it can be overwhelming. We're being stretched, we're being pulled, and our minds can just really sometimes destroy us and destroy our faith. But that's why God is there. He knows we are human and he refills us. He gives us more of what we need. And sometimes we don't know what we need. Sometimes God knows we need to shift. God knows we need more wisdom, more elevation spiritually. And God gives that to us. And he gives it to us. We're not even looking for it. We're not asking for it. but we get low and God brings us high. So thank you for watching. It's day 23. I hope that you are still continually growing with God, and I'm looking forward to see what God is going to do this coming week. So thank you for watching, and God bless.